Get your free Tudor book list as a gift when you join our Patreon. Subscribe for more Tudor history and modern-day portraits. Share this video with another history lover. Margaret Tudor, Queen of Scotland, helped end nearly 200 years of war between England and Scotland. For generations, England and Scotland were bitter enemies. Wars, border raids, and rival kings kept both kingdoms in an endless cycle of conflict. In 1502, King Henry VII and King IV signed the Treaty of Perpetual Peace, the first peace agreement between their kingdoms in almost 2 centuries. Part of the treaty meant that Henry's Margaret Tudor would marry James IV of Scotland. The peace didn't last. Just 11 years later, James IV invaded England and was killed at the Battle of Flodden. It looked as though the treaty had completely failed. But a century later, when Elizabeth I died without an heir, the English crown passed to Margaret Tudor's great-grandson, James VI of Scotland. He became James I of England, uniting the crowns for the first time. Be sure to get your free Tudor book list as a gift when you join our Patreon. Subscribe for more Tudor history and modern-day portraits. Share this video with another history lover. Margaret Tudor, Queen of Scotland, helped end nearly 200 years of war between England and Scotland. For generations, England and Scotland were bitter enemies. Wars, border raids, and rival kings kept in an endless overlooked queen in English history, and without her there may never have been a daughter to a king, wife to a king, mother and grandmother to kings and queens. To strengthen his claim to the throne, Henry Tudor, he married Elizabeth of York, and symbolically ending the Wars of the Roses. While Elizabeth's royal blood gave the new Tudor dynasty the legitimacy it needed. Share this video and Queen to watch the extended version free. Elizabeth of York may be the most overlooked queen in English history, and without her there may never have been a Tudor dynasty. She was daughter to a king, wife to a king, mother and grandmother to kings and queens. To strengthen his claim to the throne, Henry Tudor, he married Elizabeth of York, and symbolically ending the Wars of the Roses. While Elizabeth's royal blood gave the new Tudor dynasty the legitimacy it needed. Share this video and Queen to watch the extended version free. Elizabeth of York may be the most overlooked queen in English history, and without her there may never have been a Tudor dynasty. She was daughter to a king, wife to a king, mother and grandmother to kings and queens. To strengthen his he married Elizabeth of York, and symbolically ending the Wars of the Roses. While Elizabeth's royal blood gave the new Tudor dynasty the legitimacy it needed. Share this video and comment Queen to watch the extended version free. Elizabeth of York
History. His name was later crowned King Henry VII, and his remarkable journey from refugee to king would forever change the destiny of England. Henry Tudor was born on January 28, 1457. Inside Pembroke Castle in Wales. Even before he entered the world, tragedy had already shaped his life. His father, Edmund Tudor, Earl of Richmond, died several months before his birth, leaving Henry to grow up without ever knowing him. His mother, Lady Margaret Beaufort, was only 13 years old when she gave birth. Despite her youth, Margaret possessed extraordinary intelligence, determination, and political wisdom. Throughout her life, she would dedicate herself to protecting her only son, and preserving his future in a kingdom where survival itself was never guaranteed. At the time of Henry's birth, England stood divided by a bitter dynastic conflict between 2 rival branches of the Plantagenet family. The House of Lancaster, represented by the Red Rose, fought against the House of York, symbolized by the White Rose. The Eagles, remembered collectively as the Wars of the Roses, were not merely disputes between ambitious nobles. They were civil wars that devastated the kingdom, destroyed ancient families, weakened royal authority, and plunged England into decades of political instability. To protect him, loyal supporters arranged for Henry to flee across the English Channel. Still a young boy, he entered exile in Brittany and later France, where he would remain for almost 14 years. These years became the foundation of his character. Unlike princes raised amid luxury and certainty, Henry matured in foreign courts, where survival depended upon diplomacy, patience, and careful judgment. Every alliance required caution. Every promise demanded scrutiny. Every decision carried enormous consequences. Rather than becoming a reckless warrior, Henry developed into a calculating strategist who understood that lasting power required far more than battlefield courage. As the Yorkist kings secured their victories, the Lancastrian cause steadily collapsed. Many of its leading supporters were killed in battle or executed after defeat. In 1471, following the deaths of King Henry VI and his son Edward of Westminster, Henry Tudor unexpectedly became one of the few surviving Lancastrian claimants. This distinction placed him in remaining in meant risking imprisonment or death. Meanwhile, in political transformation, Richard III ascended the throne under circumstances that have remained controversial for centuries. The disappearance of the young princes confined within the Tower of London created widespread suspicion throughout the kingdom. Many nobles questioned Richard's legitimacy, while others feared continued instability under his rule. Gradually, dissatisfied supporters began looking beyond England's borders toward the exiled Henry Tudor. Although Henry possessed neither overwhelming military strength nor an unquestionable hereditary claim, he represented something equally powerful. He offered the possibility of ending decades of civil conflict. His marriage to a Yorkist princess could unite the rival houses that had torn England apart. For many nobles exhausted by endless warfare, peace became more attractive than continued dynastic rivalry. By the summer of 1485, Henry believed the opportunity had finally arrived. With financial assistance from France and the support of loyal followers, he assembled an invasion force and sailed for Wales. On August at Milford Haven, his army was relatively small compared to the forces available to King Richard III. Yet Henry understood that numbers alone would not determine the outcome. Political loyalty mattered just as much as military strength. As Henry marched across Wales toward central England, additional supporters joined his cause. Welsh families rallied behind him, while influential English nobles secretly prepared to change sides if circumstances favored the challenger. The entire kingdom waited anxiously for the inevitable confrontation. That decisive moment came on August the 22nd, 1485, at the Battle of Bosworth field. Richard III commanded the larger army and entered the battlefield as the reigning king. Henry Tudor possessed fewer soldiers but benefited from uncertain loyalties among Richard's own supporters. During the battle, several powerful noble families withheld their full commitment until the outcome became clearer. When they finally intervened, their decisions transformed the course of English history. Victory alone, however, could never guarantee lasting stability. Henry understood that civil wars ended only when former enemies found reasons to cooperate. One of his first and most significant political decisions was marrying Elizabeth of York in 1486. This marriage united the rival houses of Lancaster and York through both blood and symbolism. Their union created the famous Tudor Rose, combining the red rose of Lancaster with the white rose of York, representing reconciliation after decades of conflict. Henry also recognized that effective government depended upon strong institutions rather than personal charisma alone. Throughout his reign, he restored financial discipline to the monarchy, strengthened the authority of the crown, improved tax collection, encouraged trade, and reduced the military independence of powerful nobles. His government increasingly relied upon educated administrators and experienced lawyers instead of aristocratic families, whose loyalties frequently shifted according to political circumstances. His cautious approach sometimes earned criticism from contemporaries, who considered him excessively careful or overly concerned with finances. Modern historians, however, often view these same qualities as the foundation of England's recovery. Henry inherited a kingdom exhausted by warfare and left behind a monarchy that was considerably wealthier, more secure, and better organized than it had been for